Good morning and welcome to the next podcast of Collier-talks cricket memorabilia. Just going to go into a few things this morning that I'll keep on display, these cigarette boxes and things. But first, as usual, the photograph behind me, which is a cracking photograph today of the 1911-12 side. You may remember a couple of weeks ago I put up a signed version, but this is Phil Mead's copy, which came up at auction a few years ago. In that frame, but it wasn't a particularly good frame at the time, so I've had that repaired and restored, and it looks fantastic. I don't think you'll get a better picture of the MCC side at Adelaide there. This is obviously the only game I think that Plum Warner played, and he obviously went down with illness after that, so it's a nice record of that full team there. Phil Mead's just up the back there. A great picture of Sydney Barnes here, great photograph. It's a really nice team photo, which I'm pretty pleased to have, I have to say. So from Phil Mead's copy, that one, collection. So anyway, go into a few bits and pieces this morning. Start off with this nice little cigarette case here. Silver cigarette case that was given to H. Hawkins of Northants. To commemorate their very first victory in the county championship by, what did they win by? 23 runs against Derbyshire, which is a lovely little memento there. So I got the scorecard out and I actually found a photograph. He played against the Australians in 1905. So there's a copy of Mr. Hawkins. A little bit grainy, but not too bad. That's quite a nice little memento there of Northants' first victory in the county championship back in, so it's 1905, is it 1905? Yeah, 1905. Next cigarette case is this rather nice cigarette case here, which is silver and presented to Johnny Wardle, great Yorkshire bowler, and this is in appreciation of 6 happy years and successful years at Rishton CC. So it's got all his bowling averages there, bowling and batting, yeah. So that's quite a nice little, quite a long cigarette case actually. A few bits and pieces in there that I keep. So that's a nice memento of Johnny Wardle. Perhaps do a piece on him at some stage. Last cigarette box on display is going to be presented to, or by, the Cricket Club of India to the players who participated in the one-day limited overs match between England and the CCI President's 11 for the benefit of disabled on the 11th of November 1981 at the Brabants Stadium, Bombay, which is a nice little memento for the chaps that come over from there. This one I think was not sure whose box this was, but it's quite a nice little silver cigarette box there. Sponsor Mercantile Bank Limited on the front there, so that came from auction a few years ago. I think that's a white metal rather than a silver one actually. It's got a nice disabled sign on the front there, and then the India Cricket Association on there. Another nice item, which is a nice clock here, which unfortunately is not working, but I'll get that working at some stage. And this was presented to Fergie, Bill Ferguson's great scorer and baggage man, and this on the occasion of his wedding on March the 9th 1937 from the MCC, or members of the MCC touring team 1936-37. So it's quite a nice little item. That's quite heavy, believe it or not, but I must get that working. Doesn't look like it's a particularly flashy watch and a clock at the back there, so it won't take too long. This is quite an interesting little item, which is the Warwick vase, a brass Warwick vase copy. So it's just about 4 inches high. I'll put it on a oak base. Obviously the Warwick vase was the vase given to cricket lovers to Don Bradman. I've not seen another one of these, but perhaps there might be a few around, but a nice on there, made in England, Warwick vase. So that's quite a nice little curious item there, brass Warwick vase. Going on vases again, this is spelter one. There are silver versions of this. Is a WG Grace tulip vase. Obviously there's got to be a little flute vase there for your tulip in there. Late 1890s I think this was made. So the mark on the bottom there, can't read the mark on the bottom there, but that's few of those, not very many of those around, so quite a rare item, but I could easily get a flute made for that at some stage, but not got round to that yet. And another from the 1960s, this one. It's a ashtray with a map of Australia and a little dish in the middle there. I don't think that's the dish that went in the middle, it doesn't quite fit properly, so must be something else I want in there, but it's been put in, so it's quite a nice little 1960s, got the kangaroo on the front there. Some kind of wood, I'm not sure what wood that is, but it's quite a nice little item anyway. There's one more here, which is a brass and enamel peacock in full feather. This was November 1961 on the Pakistan tour. This was Ken Barrington's, or presented to Ken Barrington. Rajasthan State Sports Council, MCC Tour, Rajasthan, November 1961 there on the bottom there. So that's quite an impressive peacock there. So that's a fairly recent addition to the collection, that one. And then one last one for today, which was given to me by Kelly Barlow, Eddie Barlow's wife, which needs a bit of a clean now, I have to say. It's the Turner Trophy, winning Sportsman of the Year, Eddie Barlow, Sportsman of the Year 1964. And it's the Rand Sports Writers Society. So quite a nice little trophy that there. You may have heard the dog in the background there, so I've just had to go and silence the dog, so hopefully he won't be making too much more of an appearance today. So anyway, just go on to one of the things that turned up this week. It's a lovely photograph here of the 1932 Australian side to Hollywood and United States and Canada. Bradman down the bottom here. Had a bit of fun on the internet with this one this weekend, trying to get the players, but some rare players on there. There was Ives is one of them, Tolhurst, Carney and Roth and Nutt are the 5 that you probably won't get. The other ones on there, Bradman, Maley, Richardson, who was captain, Carter, who unfortunately he got his eye severely damaged while keeping wicket on this tour, and actually lost the sight of his eye, which is a bit of a devastating blow to him. What else we got on there? Fleetwood Smith, McCabe and Kippax are the other famous ones on there, so that's quite a nice, it is a copy photograph, but it's rather nice, doesn't really matter, it's got a nice image on there, so I'm pleased with that this week. Turned up all the way from Australia. So anyway, that's about as much as I can do this week. We're probably going to do some blazers and stuff next week, but I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.